What's up, men's physique fans, and welcome back to another video. We had no pro shows this past weekend, but yet and still, this just may have been the most eventful week in the 2024 men's physique division. We had top Olympians drop out of the race for the Olympia. We have guys transitioning from men's physique to classic physique. But not only that, we have an update from our current 2023 Olympia champion in Ryan Terry. And guys, things are heating up. The Olympia is just under 8 weeks away, and now we're starting to see some of the guys show the physiques and get ready to go to battle here in Las Vegas. So there's a lot to catch up on, so let's sit back, relax, and enjoy this video.
No, they wanna take it off from me, so I give what it takes. Whole life been a miracle, seen everything but a cape. Why would I stop now? Found everything on a journey, but another way. Look.
You know we are right around the corner when the shit talking starts up. Over the last couple of years, there's been a rivalry brewing between Emanuel Hunter and Cory Morris. Both of these guys have beaten each other recently at shows, and now with the Olympia right around the corner, and with Emanuel coming off of a 4th place finish at last year's Olympia, you can tell that these guys' tensions are starting to rise, and both of these guys are coming for each other's heads, and that tension brewed over to social media this past week. It's 7 a.m. I wake up to do my fasted cardio, and the first thing that I see on Instagram is Cory Morris being Cory Morris. That's the one thing I love about Cory. He is somebody who's unapologetically himself. He stands 10 toes down. He doesn't care who you are, what you do. He's going to make sure that if there's something that needs to be said, he says it. The first thing that I see on his story is I would call and tags Unchained Physique. Unchained Physique is Mike Rattini. Again, a great coach, somebody who has a lot of top Olympians stepping on stage this year. He says, I would call Unchained Physique's team out, but it's only Emanuel Hunter on that team, ... Anyway, make sure y'all do y'all cardio. And then Mike fires back and says he's just mad he can't crack the top 5 on the big stage. Maybe year 7 will be a time for him, but he can't really change his structure overnight. So it makes no sense. Man, I'm telling you guys, this is what it's about, man. This is how you know the Olympia is right around the corner. You got a lot of shit talking, you got a lot of confidence brewing, and that's the best part. You know, the guys are confident enough to speak their shit because they know they're going to back it up come stage time. But then you have Cory follows up, I have more pro wins than your entire team other than my guy, George Brown. Oh my God. And then the beef continued throughout the day with Mike posting visuals of the Olympia top 5 and Cory not being in it. And Cory talking about, let's run the gauntlet. You don't want me to, I'll take out all your guys practically. It was all in good fun, but also extremely entertaining. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, these guys, I can guarantee you this, they got love for each other. Like, don't get me wrong, they want to beat each other, but I think this is what the sport needs more of, right? There's nothing wrong with friendly competition and friendly shit talking, because these guys are going to have to see each other no matter what. I mean, these guys are top Olympians, right? They're always in that top call out. So they're going to stand next to each other time and time again, you know, and both of these guys are looking absolutely insane right now. Like, here's a recent update from Emanuel Hunter. There's no question that this man is going to be ready to do an earlier show to hopefully qualify for the 2025 Olympia as soon as the qualification window ends, because looking at the way that he looks now, there's no question that he is more ahead of the timeline now than he has ever been. But then I'm scrolling, I see a recent YouTube video from Cory Morris, who posts a physique update. Currently sitting at 9 weeks out from the Olympia for when he originally posted this, and I'm telling you right now, this man is looking absolutely insane. Cory has one of the most cartoonish structures and looks that I've ever seen. Like, it's not much that he can do to improve his looks. Like, he can't grow anything. He has the smallest waist on stage. He has one of the best backs on stage. It's just like, I don't even know what to call it. It's just a flow thing. Like, I think it's just a preference, like whether the judges like his look or not. It's like nothing more that he can do to fit the division. Maybe downsize his arms a little bit more, but he's done so already. Maybe grow his legs a little bit, but there's not anything crazy that he can do. He just needs to maximize his peak on that day, and I firmly believe he can beat anybody. You know, the best version of Cory Morris versus the best version of Emanuel Hunter, these guys are going to be neck and neck. There's no question about it. And it is an apples and oranges situation. And it's funny because you can't really compare many people to Cory Morris because he's such a unique physique. But then again, it's like they both have phenomenal backs. They both have good shoulders. Well, Cory has crazy shoulders. And then they both have full chest. They have the right amount of muscle for the division. You know, there's just so many positives about both of their physique that literally it's an any given Sunday for these guys. Like, they just need to nail their looks, and then either one of these guys can beat each other. It's been proven week over week, you know, earlier in the season. So I'm excited to see this battle again and again. The Olympia being right around the corner, this is the energy that we need. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. If both at 100%, do you think Cory can beat Emanuel, or do you think Emanuel will beat Cory again? And as I'm recording this video, an update rolls out from the legend himself, CHARO Grant, announcing the fact that he will not be pursuing the 2024 Olympia this season.
I have already, you know, had a conversation with Mike, chill out for a little bit, clean up, you know what I'm saying, get the body some rest, and then we're gonna attack again. So our object is to qualify for 2025, looking forward. So we're gonna try to jump out early, qualify for 2025 Olympia early. That way we'll have the remaining year to just build that physique that's just undeniable.
And honestly, I know over the last couple of years, CHARO hasn't necessarily been the CHARO that we remember from the 2022 Olympia, but CHARO has always been somebody who, if he can control his variables and maximize his look, he could beat anybody. There's a reason he placed 4th in the world. That version of CHARO is not far off. He just needs to continue to maximize his preps, his time away from the stage. So when he is preparing for the stage, he is going to be that version of him that we all have seen time in and time out. But with that being said, it's official. CHARO Grant is not doing the San Antonio Pro, the show that he won just last season to qualify for the Olympia. He is not doing the Florida Pro, another show that would have given him the opportunity to qualify for the Olympia this season. He instead is taking time back, focusing on his family. He just is getting over being sick, and now he wants to make sure that he is primed and prepared to be the best version of himself come 2025. And I personally believe that is the best case scenario and the wisest decision for CHARO. Not only because it feels like it's like a different aura this year for the Olympia. It's hard to explain. It's just, there's a lot of guys not doing it. We just talked about Chiron, Kaiki, Jeremy, Sadik, Brandon. There's a lot of guys who are opt out of doing the Olympia this season. And with CHARO taking that step back this season as well to focus on preparing for the year of 2025, where there's going to be a gauntlet of guys coming out potentially for their last time, I think that could do him justice, because I do believe that if he can just continue to improve, he'll be back in those top conversations. But nonetheless, it's not going to be the same not seeing CHARO Grant on that stage. He has always been a guy to look out for at the Olympia. Again, consistently placing 12th, then a big jump up to 4th, and now taking the time off to prioritize his family, his health, and making sure that he's the best version of himself in 2025. And it has been officially confirmed by Andre Ferguson himself in a recent Instagram live that he will not be stepping on stage in San Antonio with the goal of qualifying for the 2024 Olympia, but instead he's going to shut it down and focus on an early qualification for 2025 and continue to get better and double down on a future package that he's going to bring to the stage. And as much as it sucks, let's be real, Andre has nothing to prove. He's the most winningest IFBB Pro men's physique athlete of all time. He is a GOAT of our division and this sport in general. And again, he had a lot of other things that he needed to prioritize this season, not only his health after the Miami scare, but also making money, you know, traveling for his sponsors. Everybody knows when they think of dark sport, they think of Andre Ferguson. Like, he has been a legend for dark sport for years, and he has had a lot of responsibilities with that company growing as rapid as it is, and him damn near being the face of it. There was a lot of added responsibility on his plate. So there's been a lot of things that he needed to prioritize, and I do believe that is only going to set his future self up for success. But again, as a fan, man, this is crazy. So many top guys not stepping on stage this year. It's just going to open up so much opportunity for so many others. We have just listed a handful of guys who have been within that top 10 multiple times, if not top 3. So with that being said, there's going to be a lot of young guys who have the opportunity to kick the door in and make a name for themselves. So as much as it's going to be weird for me to not see these guys step on stage, it's also going to be exciting to see the new guys who seize these opportunities. Since the addition of the men's physique weight cap, you have noticed more of a consistent pattern of guys transitioning from men's physique into classic physique. We had just so recently Sadik, after running the gauntlet this season and realizing that the weight cap just wasn't necessarily something that he wanted to try to push for and sacrifice his look. And then we have Kaiki, sneaky, a guy who's always been on the bigger side of men's physique, but now just doesn't feel like he can maximize his look and potential being constricted to that number. And now we have talked about Ahmad Shakri, hand over fists this season, with just how much of a freak factor he has with the muscle that he has, as well as a lot of the other positive attributes of his physique. But even though he hits the weight cap, he made a few posts recently referring to transitioning from men's physique to classic physique. Now keep in mind, he's had a lot of success, just like a lot of these other guys have had a lot of success. But when it comes to bodybuilding, it's literally in the name, right? We want to build our body. We want to continue to add on. And a lot of times what this weight cap is doing is actually holding people's physiques back, making sure that they can't get above a certain number, which ends up making their physique not be able to reach a primed form. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think every division does require a weight cap, at least the male divisions, but because of that, you are starting to see that transition happening more rapidly. It's really hard when you're told to not put on any muscle or to not simply improve based off of something that we have been innately focused on our whole bodybuilding lives, right? We've been told that we got to get in the gym, we got to train hard, and we got to build, right? We got to body build. So a lot of these guys are starting to realize that they almost have to take more rest days, less drugs, and just simply pull off the gas instead of pushing, which we are as bodybuilders innately focused on, right? Pushing our envelopes and focusing on growing. So when your training has to turn from a high level of intensity to, just maintaining, it's not easy. But when you take a look at Ahmad Shakri's physique, there's no question that he could easily fit in classic physique. Now, he made a post recently showing off his legs, and guys, it's safe to say that he could have easily a lot of success. I mean, the one thing that I loved about Ahmad's look, even though he was a bigger guy, he always had a smaller waist. So because of that waistline, I think he can be successful not only in men's physique, but also classic. But if he stayed in men's physique, he would have to continue to downsize, right? We've seen it so recently again with IFBB Pro Dan. He was somebody who made a lot of noise early in this season, but a lot of guys kept saying, is he too big for the division? Is he more of a freak factor? Because when you saw him online, it was insane. Shit, when you saw him in person, it was insane. But same thing. He is somebody, though, who actually hit the weight cap, no problem. It was just more of a look. And he would, same thing, have to hold his body back so much in order to simply fit what is the standard of men's physique. So we've seen a lot of guys starting to make these transitions in the classic, and I guarantee you're going to see it more and more over the next couple of years, realizing, hey, I can't work on my physique the way that I want to. I can't necessarily train in the gym the way that I want to. And these are all things that, got us into this sport in the first place. So it's going to be one hell of a next few years for men's physique. You might see some of your top and most favorite men's physique athletes starting to make that transition. I do think the weight cap is in more favor of the tall guys, the Aaron Banks, the Raymond Edmonds, the guys who stand 6 feet plus. Meanwhile, there's those who kind of fit under that category where they might just be right at their weight cap now. You have people who are sacrificing fullness in order to make the weight cap, who are depleting hard or can't even eat for days at a time going into shows because they have to hit that number. And that is not easy, and that can really hurt your look. So that being said, instead of doing the extremes to hit a number, instead they can take time off to focus on putting on tissue, because the difference between classic physique and men's physique's weight cap is, depending on the actual height, can be anywhere between like 7 to 10 pounds. And that added mass can be an absolute game changer for so many. And speaking of Sadik, after the Tampa Pro, he made a video that announced he was no longer doing men's physique and will be making that transition back into classic. Because if you remember, he made a transition from men's physique to classic, and then he made that transition back to men's physique. But now, with the addition of the weight cap, he's going back to classic, and he's going to prioritize putting on that added mass. He even said he doesn't feel his best when he got all the way down like 209 or 207, which was his weight cap. But now, just a few weeks after the show, he is already back at 230 plus. He already put on over 25 pounds. And just that alone, you can just see how much bigger he got. Now, granted, he's definitely been eating good. There's no question about that. So I'm happy he's enjoying himself, but you can just see it, man. His body is soaking it back up. He's not looking out of shape. You know, he might got a little bit of distension going on through the midsection, but he's just eating good, enjoying his family time. But he is strong as a bull right now. He just put a video up of him deadlifting over 500 pounds for the first time in a while. And that might not seem like a lot for a lot of people, but you got to understand, like, he's just doing this like right after a show while he was traveling, while training at Metroflex, which might be the hottest gym on the face of this planet. It's like literally lifting in hell. And he is just looking just like a bigger guy. So imagine with the added time and not having to pull his physique down so much just to hit that number on what he can do, you know. But take a look at this most recent physique update from Sadik, right here, hitting these classic physique poses. Do you guys think that he is going to be better suited for classic physique, or do you think he just needed to nail his physique in men's physique, or should he actually just focus on retiring and focusing on his businesses, you know? But I can't wait personally to see what he's going to be able to do in classic physique. He's already had the success. He's been a top Olympian in classic. He has the legs for classic. He has the training intensity. He has the mindset. He just needs to make sure that he takes the time and do things the right way, in the healthy way. He is an older athlete. He's been doing this for a very long time. And when you do this sport for a very long time, there's no question that health complications are going to be a potential factor. But nonetheless, the fact that he's not retiring and focusing on just being better for a future version of himself. He even hinted at potentially stepping on stage at the Arnold Classic next year, which is going to be really exciting to see him back on big stages like that. I'm really excited personally. But again, Sadik, he's looking good. He's already 25 plus pounds above stage weight. And again, with this look, added mass, you know, I do think Sadik's going to be extremely successful in the classic physique division. And before we get out of here, guys, we got a recent update from our men's physique 2024 Olympia champion himself, and Ryan Terry. And for years, we have talked about Ryan's inability to put on tissue in his back. And if he were to do that, then he would be a force to be reckoned with. And he did. Last season, after a very poor showing at Pittsburgh, he then fast forwarded 2 more weeks, stepped on stage in New York and dominated. You know, the crazy thing about Ryan is he actually coaches himself. So you have to be so in tune with your body, and you also have to have the ability to, you know, separate the coach and the athlete and just look at your visuals and look at things very subjectively. Because a lot of times when we're athletes, we never think we're lean enough. We always want to do more, but meanwhile, that can sometimes hurt us. And a lot of times that can hurt us in our fullness department, not necessarily just the conditioning side, but more of like actually being filled out on stage. But when you take a look at the 2023 package that he brought to the Olympia stage, there is no question that he maximized his fullness and conditioning. And he absolutely was hands down the champion in 2023. It was lights out. There was no debating it. He looked that good. He separated himself from everybody. And it's safe to say, based off of these 8-week out updates, that he is back and he is coming with a vengeance. You know, it's kind of crazy because he's actually hitting his back shot right here. And this is how you know his abs just are elite, next level, best in men's physique. When you're hitting your back shot and your abs look like this through the mirror, like this is insane. And this is an insane update for being 8 weeks out of the Olympia. Because I remember I had an opportunity to see him in India, spend some time with him, talk with him, catch up with him. And he actually took off his shirt on stage. And I'm telling you right now, he didn't look like that. He didn't look like he was somebody who was pushing. And don't get me wrong, you know, it was obviously about like 16 weeks out from the actual show at that point, but he definitely looked like, you know, he could lose a little bit. And it's safe to say, you fast forward, he lost a lot of bit in a very short amount of time. So I'm really excited to see what Ryan brings to the Olympia stage. I can't wait to stand on stage with Ryan personally. His last name is Terry. My last name is Toplyn. So last time we stepped on the Olympia stage together, we had an opportunity to go out. We actually spoke. That's when we first met. We got a chance to meet each other, which was really cool. And then this year, very similar, because we're both going to be at the end of the walkout. We might likely be in the same category. So I'm going to have an opportunity to stand next to Ryan. So I got to make sure I am 100% on, or I will get exposed. But it's really looking like that Ryan is on track to bring his all-time best. And again, this season is going to be wide open. And there's no doubt in my mind, if Ryan continues on this trajectory and continues to improve like he did last season into the Olympia, and now with the added time can do the same, he will be your 2024 Olympia champion. Now we have people like Aaron Banks. Now we have people like Ali Bilal. Now we have some top guys who are coming for that title. There's no question about it. But with the runner-up of last year's Olympia not even stepping on the Olympia stage this season, there's no question that Ryan Terry is the favorite coming into this 2024 Olympia. So if Ryan can continue to compound, continue to get better, it's safe to say we might be looking at a back-to-back Olympia champion. But I'm curious to know what you guys think. Who do you believe is going to take the crown this season? Is Aaron Banks going to come back with a vengeance after we've seen the improvements that he made from Dubai? If he can continue to improve, will it be Ryan or Aaron getting their titles back? I'm curious to know what you guys think. Do you believe that with the improvements that Aaron Banks has made from 2023 to 2024, and then what he can continue to improve on since Dubai, do you think that he will get the title back? Or do you think that Ryan Terry is just going to be too much and that he will kick in the door again and be our back-to-back champion? This year is up in the air, to say the least, and we're excited to see it because nobody is guaranteed anything, even at that top level. So it's about what you do on that day. It's how you peak on that given day. That could be the difference between first and second, and even first call-outs to last call-outs. The margins are this small. And now that we are caught up on all things men's physique, I want to let you guys know of a crazy deal that is happening up until this Saturday, 12 p.m. CST. Alpha's entire website is 30% off. You heard that right, 30% off. So if you guys need to revamp your wardrobe, you guys are feeling a little demotivated in the gym, you guys just want to look good to feel good, I promise you the translation is there. You can now shop Alpha, 30% off. Use your boy's code Alex at checkout and you will save a lot of money and also get a lot of confidence. And I'm telling you, you guys can range from gym wear, lounge wear, rest day wear, it doesn't matter. You can make sure your whole wardrobe is revamped for a really good price. And as always, you guys can support your boy. Code Alex at checkout. It would mean the world. This is an actual competition. It's called Athlete Week, and they will crown the champion of the Athlete of the Year based off of these sales. And it would mean the world if you guys can help me gain that title. And if you or somebody you know are looking to step on stage for the very first time, get nationally qualified, or even earn your IFBB Pro card, or even maybe shut it down and focus on growing into the 2025 season and make sure that you come back next season undeniable, I am now taking on a handful of clients, a very limited amount of clients going into the Olympia. I want to make sure that the clients I take on who are serious, they want to prioritize making themselves the best versions of themselves. I don't work with people who are half in and half out. So if you are somebody who wants to be committed and you want to maximize your potential, all you guys got to do is click the link below and I will follow up, shoot you guys a message to make sure that we are a good fit. And I can promise you this, it will not be easy, but it will be worth it. I cannot wait to help you guys reach your goals. And as always, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And until the next video, peace.